What's up, everybody? Welcome to Jay's Table. We are here. My name is Justin.
I'm Juwan.
We're here to talk about films, shows, music, whatever it is. We just having regular
Sports.
dinner talk here at this table. It don't matter what it is. We have a pretty open forum here what we're gonna be talking about.
Yeah. So, and also before we continue, guys, I'm gonna give y'all this disclaimer. I'm saying nigga, okay? And if you don't like it, I'm sorry. You can skip that portion if you'd like. You can bleep it on your end or not, but I'm going to say nigga, okay? It's going to come up. It's in my everyday vocabulary. If you don't like it, you just don't like it. So,
Just like we said, this is dinner talk. We are talking just like family. We're gonna be talking at the table just like we would at home. So,
big
whatever our
facts.
dialect is, it is what our dialect is.
Suck that shit up. But
Something regardless.
the first thing we're talking about is also we're gonna be doing a lot of laughing, so we sorry, y'all. Well, this is what we do. This is our everyday conversation. So be prepared. We're gonna talk about the Rocky movies. We're gonna rank them from best to worst. We're gonna start with the best, and then we'll dissect the films as we go along. So the first film is the first Rocky. So where would you put that on the list?
Man, also before we get into this, we also got to talk about the Creeds are technically Rocky movies, but we're
Oh
not going
yeah.
to include them in this just because it's too complicated with the big time difference, which means technological differences, which means movie knowledge, film directing style differences. Too
Mm-hmm.
much to try to add those in there. Totally different
Yeah, I
movies.
forget how many years apart they are, but they're
Yeah,
too many years apart
it
to
was like
compare.
30 years. It's like ridiculous. Yeah, we can't too far.
First Rocky came out. First Rocky came out what 70 something, 76,
78, I think.
78. Okay,
Long
yeah,
time. Early in the movie game.
we're not doing that shit. Um,
Yeah, so we only gonna do the first six Rockies, which is Rocky 1 all the way to Rocky Balboa. So
Facts.
that's what we
Also,
doing
y'all be drinking water during this whole podcast. I'm like Tony Baker with this. Okay, this my sidekick.
here. Oh yeah, we gonna. I got mine too. You already know what it is. I
Bring
got
more water,
mine
people.
too. It's 9:04
Bring more
right
water,
now.
people.
I got a little left, but we cool.
And I live in LA now, y'all, so it's hot. So I'm drinking water. I'm wearing hats. You about to see all of this. All right, so
And
be
I'm
prepared.
always hot, so that's
Yeah,
just a
so
matter.
you big fella though.
I
Big
spent
fella,
my
but
time in the South already, so it translated over. I still got lingering heat in the
I
back.
got residual hot.
Facts.
PTSD. PTSD. That's funny. Oh God,
Literally.
that's funny as hell. Okay, so the
I
first
mean,
Rocky
honestly, doing this list, we can just start off by saying Rocky Balboa, which is Rocky
is the
6,
worst
is
one.
the worst one. By far. Trash.
I second that
Garbage.
notion. Yeah, so
Garbaggio.
Rocky Six. We're not even gonna really talk about it during this podcast, because it was trash.
Oh,
The
trash.
idea was trash. The
Basura,
plot was trash.
garbage, whatever. Garbaggio.
However you
Terrible.
want to say it. The plot in the movie was trash. The character development was bad.
The
The
first
film was just
problem
not.
was Adrian's not in it, so that's the first problem off the bat.
And then they didn't really address
Nope.
her death. Like
Nope.
they said that she died, I believe, right?
Yeah, they said she died because
They
he
said she died, but they
visited
didn't
her
really.
grave and stuff. But
Yeah. But they didn't talk about it. And we're not using her real name. Her name's Adrian. She had one other movie. I think it was Godfather 3. Ain't nobody watched that shit.
no,
So she's Adrian.
exactly.
This is another movie that I've seen. So what would you say was the best Rocky to you, and why?
I gotta say, I gotta go. I think as a head-to-head movie, plot-wise, all the way through the acting, Rocky 3 is the best movie. I think
Okay.
because even though it's hard to not say Rocky 4 because it has the best workout montage of all time,
I agree
and
with this.
it's a very easy concept to get along with America wise. A genius Cold War, like that's genius. But Rocky 3, the acting wise, the plot development wise, the characters in there was, I think, the best.
Mm. Okay. I agree. Rocky 3 was good. I'm gonna put Rocky 4 in my one.
Of course,
Um,
yeah.
for a couple of reasons. One, I think, like you said, the plot was super simple to understand. So if you're a novice at film, you don't have to really know what's going on to kind of figure out what's going on in the future of the film before you even get there. So I think it's really easy to dissect as a movie.
Right.
I also, for me personally, the montage for both of them was amazing.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen a workout montage better in film.
Yeah.
Hey y'all, we watch a lot of movies.
Yeah, a lot.
We watch a lot of movies.
Especially when it comes to montages. Well,
Yeah, but
all of
the
them.
montage. Sometimes I go to YouTube to watch just the montage
Oh, yeah.
from Rocky IV. I don't even watch. I'll pull the movie up and skip the movie
Yep.
to the montage because that's how good. And then I think on top of that, he had the best fight. I think that was the best fight of the movies.
Oh yeah, easily.
Clubber was good, but like you could tell he could beat Clubber even in the first fight.
Oh yeah.
Right. But the way Drago handled, that first fight was just he looked unbeatable. They really they did a really good job of making him like pretty much indestructible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. I mean, Rocky IV, the fight choreography was the best of almost all time. As far as conveying a story, conveying who's supposed to be better, what makes them better, and things like that, and the comeback into the final fight because they were throwing real punches, which is crazy.
That helps.
Like, for sure.
I mean, that makes it better. I agree with you, but I think for 4, I think what set it really aside for me, like you said, I think is that the fight scene and then the connection with the modern day times at that time. Because Cold War was going on during that time.
Oh, huge. Oh yeah, middle. Yeah, Rocky IV was 1983 or 4, I think, which is like the height.
Right. Which is literally the height of Cold War. So I think that coupled with the fight scenes, and I forgot to mention one other thing. I don't care what nobody say. I've never seen a body like Rocky had in that.
No, that body was ridiculous.
When his six-pack was going into his chest, dog, I was like, I want to be Rocky Balboa. I want to.
And he all of 5'6".
I'm right. I'm 3 inches taller than him, but I still was like, I'll shrink if I can look like him. I would happily give, and I'm already short. I would happily give 3 inches of my height to have the body he had at Rocky.
That was ridiculous. The man had 10 abs in it. Like, did you? And I'll never forget in the Rocky IV montage that the sit-ups he was doing. Like, this man had his entire legs like up in the air, up and down. Like, and if y'all don't know, like going up, like okay, like that's already crazy, but like slowly going down with that much of your body in the air is absolutely insane. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, for sure. I agree with that. I think. And then what would you put at the second? Your second.
I mean, it's between the 1 and 2 is Rocky 3 and 4. So for me, it's Rocky 3 is 1 and 2 is Rocky 4. Like it's.
And I think I just flipped that for the exact same reason. I got it at 3 just because, like I said, Clubber looked defeatable.
Right. That is very true.
Like he was strong, but he looked beatable. So I got to put him at 2.
It's just it's just with Rocky 3, the part that I give more points to is the plot development in there, like the whole relationship where. Because Rocky IV, in my opinion, is not as good without the development that happened between their relationship in Rocky III.
I agree.
Like
I think that's a good point.
Like that was the development they had and the acting and like his trainer dying and being mentally conflicted and stuff like that was so good on the writing aspect, and the acting between the two was so good that it gets extra points for me.
And so that was what, Rocky IV?
Yeah.
Rocky III. And then what's your third one? What are you putting at 3?
The third one, I gotta go with 1. I mean, 1 was it's honestly, I think it's fairly easy when it comes to, because it's like if it's not 3 and 4, just 1. Like it was the first one to do it. Like they did a great job developing that character. That was one of the first of those sports stories. Was because also it's a pioneer. Like it's just a pioneer movie too. Like there was no sports movie really conveying that type of concept in that way yet.
I agree with you. I would agree. I'm probably putting Rocky 1 there because, like you said, the character development in that film was superb. I mean, it was perfect. Like you said, we hadn't had a sports figure film like that,
right?
Where you really got to see the life of the character.
Right.
You really got to see where he started and then where he kind of ended up. They really sold this Apollo Creed picking a random guy off the street.
Right.
Like they really sold that aspect, which actually made me buy in more to the film.
Right, of course,
I bought in more to the movie when he was like, "Hey, we're gonna find somebody." When he opened that book and was just looking through names, and he hit the Italian stallion, I was like, "All right, I like this movie." Right, so I think that is where. And then 2, I gotta put right above 6, and 2 wasn't bad. I mean, 6 is not on our 6 is very far down from 6.
Right,
it's like far, but I gotta put Rocky 2 in there because, like Ali. There was a period of time in that movie where there was no fighting or character development going on.
Oh, yeah.
We already knew he loved Adrian from the first movie.
Right.
I don't know why they revisited the first movie to then they kind of. I understand why they did it actually, but to build up the fight, I get it. But it was boring.
Oh yeah, it was very slow for a Rocky film. It was 100% very slow, and like I mean, like the only real highlight was the fact that they got married in that one. Like other than that, like because
But that was at the beginning. Of the
yeah,
movie,
exactly.
though.
But that's what I said at the beginning of the movie. Like it starts off really good in the beginning, and it was like oh they got married finally, cool, whatever. But then like that whole process of like Creed, like developing the like regret about it, wanting a rematch, responding to the haters and stuff. Like it was all about that until like the last 20 minutes. So it was just like
Facts.
so
I don't
slow.
disagree with you.
100%. It was definitely really slow.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think, and once you see it once for the story, I feel like you don't need to see that boring part of the movie. I also, and this is me. Justin doesn't feel this way. This is me talking for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like too much love in my action movies.
There was a lot. That was another thing. There was a lot of fighting between him and Adrian.
I'm not even the fighting. Like I knew, like I understand relationships go relationship, right? But in my action movies, I want y'all to get straight to business, okay? I need opening credits. We can touch on the love, right? You know, you can come in, hey, I love her. This my girl. One girl. And then get straight to business. I do not need 35 minutes of love development in the story. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. I'm sure everybody don't feel this way, but I can really do that love story in all my action films.
No. You are ridiculous. You are ridiculous in that matter because I don't agree with that. I need some love in some of the stories, but yes, I agree. There was almost 45 minutes worth of just him and Adrian dealing with the stuff like that, which is like realistic, yes, but also it doesn't make for a captivating movie. And honestly, I don't think that movie would have done as well. That could have honestly changed the direction of how well Rockies did if that was released today instead of back then. Because back then it's a little different because everybody has to go to the movies, and everybody had like once you're in there paying for the film, you're doing it. And then also too, the expectations weren't quite the same back in 1980 or 78.
I don't know. See, here's where I think I disagree on that because, like you said, everybody gotta go to the movies. And guys, we'll talk about Thriller, Michael Jackson later. I'm just gonna throw that in. We're gonna talk about that. But everybody gotta go to the movies. But I don't think it would have hurt the film because the first one did so well. I think as well as the first one did, when you open up with Rocky 1, and the numbers it did, I don't have them at the top of my head. I'm gonna look them up later. But the numbers it did in that first one, I think you now deserve the right to kind of build your character. That's what I think it did in Rocky 2. I think they set Rocky 2 up to make 2 great movies off of it. Right? I think that you needed that boringness for the character development. It was just boring after the first time I saw it.
Yeah. Well, however, I will say you're right. It definitely would not affect how well Rocky 2 does. I think what it would affect though is how well Rocky 3 does without people telling, like because it's all word of mouth, because it's like now in today's world too, like because sometimes now part of this is also because over time we've had some bad experiences when it comes to people making sequels and trilogies and stuff like that, and so that's the only, I feel like that's the reason why it would have hurt in today's world, where if that second movie is not as good and captivating as the first one, that people might not go to the third one and watch it later out of theaters. But you're also right though, back then though, they don't have that trauma yet, so they actually might still go to the third one anyway.
Here's why, because I just looked it up. Rocky 2 grossed $200 million worldwide. So I think, first of all, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot
of money. I think that is going to be why it wouldn't have lost. I don't think you would have lost viewers for 3 and 4 because he won that second fight. I think if you lose the second fight,
that's true.
Then it's different.
That is very true.
The second fight, I think since he won the second fight, you have to give him.
So honestly, really, the fact that he lost the first fight, honestly, it was that safety net. Going into that second fight.
Facts. Yeah.
So honestly, yeah. No, that's right. Yeah, you're right. No.
So let's go through our list again. So I think I had Rocky 4-1, Rocky 3 second on my list, Rocky 1 third, Rocky 2 4, And then
5 is got to be.
5 and 6, we're not talking about. I'm not wasting breath on my thoughts. They're bad. That's all I need to know, okay? We didn't see him fight whoever he fought, and that's how bad the movie was. I don't even remember who he fought.
So the people who don't know.
Go ahead, you got it. You got it. I'm not talking about that. Go ahead.
So the people who don't know, if you want a good list of Rocky, this even if we include the creeds of what you should watch, it should be Rocky 1 through 4, skip 5 and 6, and then watch Creed 1 through 3.
Spark Notes 5 and 6. You don't need to.
So if you haven't seen any of the Rockies, first of all, you need to see it. It's a cultural legend. First of all, second of all, if you haven't watched any of it, skip 5 and 6. It's wasting your time. It's just and then from this point on, and you want to skip a little ahead. This spoiler alert: 5 and 6. Adrian's in 5. He don't fight because he got brain damage from 4, and then 6, Adrian's just dead, and like the relationship's gone.
No, also, ain't no spoiler alert. The movies came out in the 70s. You haven't seen it by now, bro. It's not a spoiler anymore, okay? They came out. We weren't even born. These movies came out. So if you're watching our podcast and you ain't seen this movie by now, dog, you need
to catch up. In other words, you need to catch up.
You need to catch up on life. Who ain't seen the Rockies? A real person. You need to catch up on your life. You missed some shit.
Oh my goodness. No, it's y'all, and also you should watch it. And if you need proof that it's a cultural legend, Rocky has an actual statue in Philadelphia.
Tell him.
So there's a scene in Rocky 3 where he's upset. He gets the statue and everything. He's successful. He's upset about certain things that happen in the movie. He throws his helmet at a statue of himself because he's mad at himself. That statue is real and is very much there to this day, and it is a tourist attraction in Philadelphia. And he's a fake character.
Right, Rocky is not walking around the streets. No. Okay? It's a character.
It's not Sylvester Stallone, who's the actor who plays Rocky. It is Rocky.
Rocky Balboa. And that's why the Rockies films are goated, because no other film, Forrest Gump should have one, but no other film has a statue. The only other film I can even think of that should have one is Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump should have got a statue. I don't care what nobody says.
I mean, Mickey Mouse don't even have a statue in the general public. It's in Orlando or in California.
But he got a theme park, so it's different.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's my point. It's in a theme park. Rocky's statue is up just like you walk around the city and see the founding fathers of the city and stuff just sitting around there looking all like Captain Morgan and stuff. Like, there is a statue of Rocky. You looking at over here with Philadelphia, you might see Alexander Hamilton, you might see George Washington, something, and then right next to them is gonna be Rocky Balboa. They were like, what did he do? Nothing. He was a character in a movie. He didn't do nothing to found Philadelphia.
Nothing for the country.
And what's wild is Joe Frazier is the one who's a real boxer, was the one who brought actual fame to boxing in Philadelphia.
But a quick aside, he ain't from Philadelphia.
No. He's from where I'm from, which is Beaufort, South Carolina, if y'all don't know that.
That's my point. He's from Beaufort, South Carolina, if y'all didn't hear him just say that. Joe Frazier is not from Philadelphia at all. Okay, thank you very much. And he ain't got no statue.
Nope. No statue.
And he ain't gonna get no statue.
And he's a real life person.
He's a real boxer. He fought in real life. He was getting hit for real.
Not Rumble in the Jungle. Thriller in Manila against Muhammad Ali. One of the most popular fights of all time.
And I'm gonna look up the numbers for that, but I forget how much that made. But it made a lot of money too.
So much money, and Rocky is the one with the statue in Philadelphia. So that's how goated these movies are. So if you haven't seen them, go see them. They're great, but just skip 5 and 6. 1 through 4, look up a summary video of 5 and 6. That'll give you the information you need, and then just skip to Creed 1 through 3. And honestly, you don't even need a summary, honestly, for 5 and 6. Like 6 only
they didn't have anything to do with the plot.
No, nothing to do. 6 just has a famous quote in it, and 5 is a waste of time, honestly. But like, you just kind of is like, oh, this is what happened to him. Like.
Yeah. These are things you can see in the Creed.
Exactly. My point. So,
watch the Creed movies. It's going to tell you everything that happened from Rocky 5 and 6. You need to watch
exactly.
They're trash.
Yeah, it's just trash.
But you know what? You know what's funny about Sylvester Stallone? He does this. He'll make 4 bangers, not 4. Sorry, 4 is rare. He'll make a banger or 2 bangers, and then make 2, 3, maybe 4 trash films.
Right. But they still going to watch them in box office just because.
You know what's funny is I'm still gonna watch it. Like I watched the last Rambo that was bad, but I watched it. So it's no diss to you, Sylvester, if you happen to be listening, which I know you're not. I'm not dissing you, okay? Because I still watch them. They just weren't great films. Is all I'm saying. All I'm saying, Sylvester. I don't need Sylvester calling my phone. Hey,
so you gonna mess up our chance with?
Rocky gonna cancel the entire podcast. He gonna have Philly on. I ain't gonna be able to step forward to it.
Exactly. No, but y'all need to watch it. And also, one thing that as we're gonna talk about on future ones, is that first of all, it is very hard to make 4 great films.
Oh my God!
There are very few franchises that have 4, more than 2, honestly, but especially more than 3. Great.
We'll talk about that next week.
Exactly. So we'll discuss that more on this podcast, and you'll see us talk about how hard it is to do certain things like that. We'll do rankings of that and stuff, but Rocky has done it, and they have killed the game. So if you haven't watched it, go watch it.
And next week, just a prelude for everybody. Next week we are going to talk about. Justin just brought it up, so that's a really good segue. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about films who have 4. We might have to do 3 because it's really hard to get 4.
Really short.
3 or 4, we'll decide. 3 or 4 like good movies, and I don't mean good as in just box office, like what the critics say, what the populace say, and then how much money it made. Obviously, that counts, but that's not going to be done. It's going to be a holistic review.
The money is just qualifying. That's it.
Yeah, but because there are some movies that made bread that's trash.
Right. Oh, for sure. Yep.
You know, they didn't on the drive up here. So just to give y'all a prelude, not even a prelude, just a synopsis of our everyday conversation. On the drive up here, we rank. This is how much we like TV, y'all. We rank movies that gross from how much movies gross from their respective decade. We almost went by year. That's how much time we had.
We almost went by year. It was
a long drive.
We are professional critics in our minds. The only thing we're missing is the paycheck. That's about
the paycheck. I'm sure they went to some type of film.
I'm sure they went to film school. We didn't. But we discussed it just like that. We've watched entirely too many things. It's just we discussed this, and so we're gonna let y'all in on some of these conversations, some of these rankings. And that's what we start off with this show about. We'll talk about other things too, but the bulk of it is 100% going to be film related.
Also, leave comments if you have a question, a thought. We'll bring it up. We'll talk about your questions or comments if you have any. If you don't, just like it.
Did you agree with our list? What's your list? There's something you think we're sleeping on in one of the Rocky movies, even though I doubt it. But if you do, if you have a good argument, it is what it is. But like, do you think Rocky 4 is the best? We saw we had different first. I had Rocky 3, he had Rocky 4. Anything like that? Throw it in the comments. Let everybody know. We'll be reading through. We'll respond to as many as we see. So,
facts. But we'll do that.
That's it for today on Jay's Table. We'll be back next Wednesday with a new video. We're gonna be dropping the URL in YouTube for your YouTube link, and we're going to have the URL for our audio bit if you just want to listen to it casually.
Right. So and so we'll see y'all next week Wednesday. We'll have some snippets out this week. We'll probably have some out later this week. Yep. We'll probably try to get something out if we can. I don't know what we're looking like on the logistics part of things. If we can, I'll try to get some up today or tomorrow. So if y'all don't know, just before we go, I live in California now.
And I'm in Ohio.
So different time zones. We are 3. Justin drove up with me. If y'all didn't know, we are 3 hours apart. So if it's not today, we'll for sure have some stuff up tomorrow for you guys to just check out and have a snippet or a preview of what we're talking about.
Right. Full episodes will be posted on every Wednesday though. So.
Yeah. All right, y'all.
All right.
Peace.